Food is key to human survival, and there is no doubt about that. Good evening, my name is Chinemerem Joseph, and I welcome you to this edition of You and the Economy. Now, when it is rightly consumed, food nourishes the body, promotes physical and mental wellness, and uplifts the human soul. That surely explains why the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has been very active in promoting food security in the country by embarking on programs designed to boost the output of food crops as well as cash crops that can be processed into consumable food items. The Apex Bank performs this role in discharge of the developmental component of its core mandates and has been doing so largely through its Anchor Borrowers Program, ABP, an intervention that has recorded remarkable successes in boosting output in the production of staple food commodities, particularly rice and cash crops too. But the CBN also promotes access to food in yet another significant way beyond the funding of intervention programs which supports the cultivation of food and cash crops. The Apex Bank equally encourages people who have a flair for catering as well as bankable ideas that could potentially translate into a successful catering venture to either establish a catering business or expand existing ones. Now, this is more so as the frenetic pace and pressures on daily living in Nigeria's big cities have continued to compel increasing segments of urban residents to eat outdoors. And in the wake of the crushing blow dealt on households by the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the CBN realized that supporting the catering business is yet another way it could help cushion the impact of the disease whilst generating employment in the process. In the first of our two stories on today's edition of You and the Economy, we spotlight how one of the intervention schemes of the CBN has been used to support a catering business, make access to food much easier, and also generating employment at the same time. Now, this is the story of Onisha Sun, a catering business in Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, that was transformed through one of the intervention schemes of the CBN.
Among the Yoruba people of southwest Nigeria, Onishasun, which translates literally as the one who owns the pot, is a popular nickname for a caterer. But for Omoumi Ikerowo, a caterer based in Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, and owner of Onishasun Enterprise, realizing a dream of becoming a big-time caterer only materialized recently after she successfully accessed the Agribusiness Small and Medium Enterprise Investment Scheme (AXMIS), one of the intervention schemes of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) for a loan facility. That successful move enabled her to expand her catering business to achieve her dream and earn the right to lay claims to being a caterer par excellence, a true Onishasun, as the name of her business professes. A graduate of English Language and Literary Studies of University of Ado-Ekiti in Ado-Ekiti, capital of Ekiti State, Omoumi, who is happily married, had established Onishasun Enterprise in 2015 and commenced operation in Ibadan, specializing in outdoor catering. However, the business had remained low-key as Onishasun was operating then from Omoumi's residence located in an estate in the Ring Road axis of Ibadan. Like it did to the businesses of most Nigerians, the COVID-19 pandemic affected Omowumi's Onishasun enterprise severely. However, rather than resign to fate and be crestfallen, the mother of one put on her thinking heart to design ways of rejuvenating the endeavor and make it blossom, COVID-19 or not. That was when she heard about the CBN Agribusiness Small and Medium Enterprises Investment Scheme, AXMIS. Although the intervention scheme, which offers loans to successful applicants at concessionary interest rate, had been in existence before the outbreak of COVID-19, Omowumi had not known of it. The decision to subscribe to AXMIS and the approval of her application has now turned around the fortunes of Omowumi's catering business.
I've been in the food business. I took the facility to expand. I was basically working from home, but I needed to step out of my comfort zone and do it big, since I am certain this is what I really wanted to do.
Following the approval of its application to subscribe to AXMIS, Onishasun Enterprise had witnessed a rather dramatic transformation. After drawing down on the loan, the catering business moved to its rented property in a mixed development area in the same ring road axis of Ibadan. The more expansive property that Onishasun moved into came with a much larger space that the business had lacked while it was operating from the home of its promoter. Onishasun has leveraged on the expansive space at its new business location to set up a cooking area that is several times bigger than the erstwhile typical residential home kitchen from where the business had been operating upon its establishment in 2015. As a result, the catering enterprise is now more capable of engaging in the large-scale cooking that has enabled it to service larger orders from a much larger clientele in its forte of outdoor catering.
Commercial cooking takes a lot of space, and to put all these things together, you need a large space, which this has provided for me. Having an office space and being able to employ more people has given me the opportunity to cater for more. I am able to produce more in terms of cooking. I can cook now as early as 9. I have cooked for about 400 people, which was impossible before now. The best I could do at home was roughly 100, 150 while I was working from home. But now we can do as much as 1,500, as much as our capacity can take. We are the ones to say, no, we are not more taking orders now. Unlike before that, I didn't have so much space to do what I want to do.
Onishasun has further leveraged on the bigger space it now has at its disposal, courtesy of the use to which it had deployed the facility it accessed under CBN's AXMIS to also expand the scope of its business beyond outdoor catering. Now, in addition to its core focus of providing already prepared meals, Onishasun runs a more expansive catering business that encompasses a small-scale bakery, a walk-in restaurant, and a food mart. We start with the walk-in restaurant. With access to bigger space and more funds, Onishasun was able to set up one at its new operational base. Establishing the walk-in restaurant had been impossible while the catering business was operating from the residence of Omowumi. The setting up of the decent-looking walk-in restaurant brought to fruition Omowumi's dream that Onishasun should operate one.
While I was working from home, it was in an estate. For people to access the place was a difficulty, but now that we're on a major street, it's much easier, easily accessible.
And here is the food mart of Onishasun. The outlet sells foodstuff items like rice, Indomie noodles and the likes, as well as food preparation items like groundnut oil and palm oil too, on retail to its customers. This sophisticated oven drives the operation of the new bakery arm of Onishasun's catering business. The oven was acquired with the facility accessed by Onishasun under AXMIS. The critical equipment made the bakery business of Onishasun to run smoothly. These are the baking accessories, a measurement scale for measuring the quantity of flour to be blended to bake bread of outstanding quality, as well as this blender, were both acquired too with funds raised under the AXMIS facility subscribed to by Onishasun.
For me, it has made it easy. Yes, it is easier compared to having to put these and things together before you can saving up to buy equipment. But now that I have a bulk money to buy equipment, then it is easy for me to do other things with. You know that putting money together is not that easy, but with the facility, it was easy to put bulk money to buy something. Not me saving up for maybe 2 years or a year, and even saving up, you might have to dip your hand into it again if some challenges arises. But this has helped, I must say. It's positive for me all the way.
Given all you've seen and heard watching this production, it does not take the gift of clairvoyance to realize that Onishasun's decision to subscribe to AXMIS and the loan it accessed under the scheme must have impacted positively on its fortunes. It is little wonder then that its proprietress, Omowumi, readily admits to the outstanding successes achieved by a catering business after it accessed AXMIS.
When I was working from home, I had just 3 employees, cleaner, kitchen assistant, and a dispatch rider. But now I have about 9 staff now, an employer available. With the workload that we run now, we earn more, and it is easy to pay salaries. So apart from my personal gains, the people that work with me are gaining from it too.
Remarkable as it is, Onishasun's experience with AXMIS has another lesson to offer beyond its success story. And that lesson lies in the account of how the catering enterprise got to know of and successfully processed its application to subscribe to the scheme. It is a story that speaks to what can be achieved when determination to follow due process is unflagging and the spirit is undeterred in the pursuit of laudable objectives.
I got to know through a friend, then assessing the loan wasn't so difficult. Of course, you have to go through the process. Underline the word process. If you want to jump, there's no way for you here. I have discovered that a lot of Nigerian youths, they don't want to go through the process. If you are willing to go through the process and you are certain that this is what you want to do, it is the best bet for you, because for an average Nigerian, there is no how you want to run a business in this kind of economy that you don't need the input of huge amounts. So I encourage you that you should go for it.
Buoyed by the impressive successes recorded by Onishasun after it had accessed and put to use the loan it obtained through AXMIS, Omowumi is in upbeat mood and has shifted her gaze on the greater goal of further expanding her catering business. Naturally, she looks forward to applying for yet another loan facility, either under AXMIS or any other CBN intervention program designed to cater to businesses of the size that she runs.
We have been able to get more than we expected, but now the dream is getting bigger, to even get bigger and bigger and bigger. We are not stopping anytime soon. I just want to say a very big thank you to Central Bank of Nigeria and the Governor, Dr. Emefiele, if I'm right. Yes, I want to say thank you. It has made life easy for young entrepreneurs in Nigeria, and I want to say don't stop doing it though. We still want more, because we still aim to expand more than what we have been able to do, and with you we believe we can do that.
Welcome back. What a fascinating tale that the story of Onishasun is. We now move ahead to the second segment of today's edition of the program. The business center, as each of the ubiquitous small businesses that are known by that name that dot most of Nigeria's urban centers are called, are a common sight in most locations where pursuits that require documentation are undertaken. And because they literally litter most urban centers in the country, the business center is a veritable employment-generating channel which also brings succor to the homes of their proprietors. It was, therefore, a commendable and positive move on the part of the CBN that, in the implementation of its targeted credit facility, which is the TCF, one of the intervention schemes introduced by the Apex Bank to bring succor to households following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The funding of bankable proposals to set up or better equip existing business centers is given favorable consideration. We now bring you the story of one small business center in the same city of Ibadan, which application for the TCF was approved, and how the business has been waxing stronger ever since it drew down on the loan approved for it under the scheme.
The Dubai Business District is one of the most popular nerve centers of business and commerce in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. In fact, to speak of Dubai Business District is to evoke images of the hustle and bustle in similar popular business districts such as Idumota in Lagos Island, the Ikeja roundabout in Ikeja, capital of Lagos State, and the Yaba Tejuosho axis, all on the mainland, just to mention a few of such in Lagos, the commercial capital of the country that the Dubai Business District compares with favorably. As would be expected, and in line with the norm in practically every business district, the processing of documents usually required for documentation purposes is a common service offered in the Dubai Business District. Operating from the yard of the famous Dubai Post Office in Ibadan is one of the business centers in the Dubai Business District, God's Grace Business Center. Established in 2010 by its proprietors, Bola Bienon, a housewife and mother of two, God's Grace Business Center had been just like most of the numerous business centers in the Dubai Business District, lacking any unique selling point (USP) to give it an edge over its competitors. Business for God's Grace was, it had seemed, bereft of exceptional grace. But the business center has since shed that toga of anonymity. For business centers, the ability to attract good patronage and make impressive profit is usually dependent on the array and sophistication of the equipment they deploy to render services to customers. And the more the level of sophistication of their machines, the more the patronage they usually attract. Bienon knew this too well, but could not up the ante of a business center due to the eternal problem that most business promoters are confronted with: lack of funds.
I'm doing photocopy, typesetting, graphic design, passport, your full passport photograph, anything graphic, that's what we are doing. Before I took the loan, I didn't have this machine. I didn't have the big machine, and this one, the two, I didn't have it. I'm struggling to buy it, but there's no much to buy it.
Unlike many of the people in the segment targeted by the CBN in establishing the TCF, Bienon had faith in a resolve to successfully obtain a loan to upgrade a business center by subscribing to the facility. And she pursued this faith with uncommon vigor and single-mindedness when in April 2020 she applied for a loan under the TCF. Her faith was rewarded when the application she submitted was approved 2 months later in June 2020. Bienon recalls her experience applying for and processing her loan application.
We are on internet, so we just see CBN loan, this thing and that. What are they doing here? So I went to the bank, nicer bank. I go there and they explained to me They gave us portal, they do this and say you share, we can open a bank account with us if you are running it, so that the more you are running it, the more this thing will be going. And when they came, I said okay, and I went there. I do the opening of the account. So they give me the portal. They said I should go on it, and I went and I did it. And then they said I should be praying if they pick me or if they give me the money. I did it in June, and they sent me a message that I'm among the people they select. So I went there and they explained to me. They did everything. So this is how I would do it, this is how I would do it. And I did, and they gave me the money.
God's Grace Business Center found immense grace in the vastly increased patronage it began to enjoy following the prudent use to which its proprietress had put to use the loan she obtained through the TCF.
The first machine I bought is Rico machine, a photocopy machine, A4 size. That one can print, it can photocopy, and it can scan. It's doing 3 things at once. And the second one, the big one, is doing large quantity and enlargement, like color printing in A3 size and A4 size. The first one, the A4 one, it can't make colored, but what the big one can make the A3 colored and A4 colored. When I bought the machine, my business is boot higher again because it brings more large customer to me, sir. Because people are saying, this shop, this small shop, I get more customer. I make my profits go higher, 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 higher.
Through the loan granted Biononwo's business center, the CBN has equally achieved one of the core objectives that drove the establishment of the TCF, granting succor to households to cushion the impact of COVID-19 on them. Here, Biononwo will speak on how the TCF loan impacted her life positively while boosting the performance of a business center at the same time.
It supports me in areas of what I need, in my children's school fees, in everything. It supported me. Anything I need is providing for me.
While reveling in her personal blessings and savoring the grace of the vastly improved fortunes of her business, both of which she regards as direct and veritable benefits of the loan she obtained through the TCF, Biononwo has a piece of crucial advice for others, particularly self-employed members of households and other promoters of small businesses like hers. She enjoins them to eschew skepticism in their perception of the intervention schemes of the CBN and be more compliant in meeting the conditions for accessing the loans. According to her, if the targets of the schemes demonstrate more faith in their ability to access the facilities on offer and are also more transparent and forthcoming in providing the documents required to process their loan applications, they will be able to access funds from the intervention schemes seamlessly, just as she had done.
What I will tell my fellow people is that they should go online to go and participate. Whenever loan they say is from CBN or is from federal government, if they say we should do something, we should go online. If you didn't understand, go to the nearest bank. You know they're linked from the NISA with CBN bank. You will go there and ask them. Because me, I go there. What I want to tell them is that everything they ask them, they should feel. But some people, they won't feel it. They say, what they want to use my BVN for? They want to fraud me. They want to do this. They want to do that. But once they ask you a question, they will collect your BVN because they will trace it if you are this and that. But people say, I won't feel. But most of people, I would say, maybe you didn't feel your form very well. They say, no, they can't release my BVN. I said, me, I release my BVN. That's what they give me. What I want to say with CBN is that we thank them for the releasing of the money. Because if the federal government released the money and they didn't release it, how the money can reach like people like me? We just want to appreciate that. Well done.
We are sure you enjoyed the double header package we brought to you on today's edition of You and the Economy. The enduring lesson of the two stories is not to be dismissive of the intervention schemes of the CBN and your ability to benefit from them. As you saw, those who had faith and were resilient were able to access loans from the schemes that they applied for, even as they had no backing from any big shot in the society. That could well be a lot too. Again, the story of the two beneficiaries underscore yet again the fact that the CBN intervention schemes are practically for the benefit of all Nigerians, regardless of their social status. We are sure you enjoyed today's edition of You and the Economy, and we ask that you please join us again next week when we bring you another exciting edition of the program. Until then, it's goodbye.